Hello again from Roots Tech. This is Louise Cooke. We are having so much fun. I cannot believe we are already almost through Friday. And joining me is somebody I have been looking forward to having a conversation with for a long time. We see each other on Facebook and all these places, and she makes the rounds in her speaking. It's Amy Johnson Crow, and I've got her here on our YouTube channel. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Lisa.
How nice to have you here.
Finally sit down and talk.
I know. I think it's more challenging when you're both speakers because we're both living out of suitcases and running here and there. You were talking, one of your classes was on apps and mobile technology, and my radar is all about that because of my new book, Mobile Genealogy, But I loved the assortment that you covered in your class. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my class was best websites and apps for finding local history.
Local history. That was the thing that intrigued me.
Yeah, because in our genealogy, we focus so much on the people. And when we go searching, we search for names, right? We want to find who are the parents, who are all the children. We want to find the people. But I really believe that if we have any hope of understanding the ancestors, we have to understand where they lived.
Yeah.
It just makes such a difference in how they lived their lives and what was impacting their lives based on where they lived. So I was taking a look at some of the best websites and apps. And surprisingly, a couple of the websites that I highlighted, one of them being something called History Pin, which I love History Pin, and another site called What Was There. You can use them on mobile. They've actually gotten away from having a standalone app.
Really?
Because they've taken their website and they're devoting more of their development time to making their website mobile responsive. So it's still very, you can still definitely use it on your mobile devices, but you don't have to download a standalone app for it.
So you'd be using it, but through your browser
Through your
app.
browser,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
So you don't have something additional that you have to download in these two cases. History Pin started in England, so you're actually going to find a lot of cool local history in England, Ireland, Scotland. It's
Very cool because we have a lot of listeners and viewers from the UK.
yeah, and it's good for England. It's also wonderful for the United States. What I like about History Pin is that different individuals and a lot of organizations like museums, archives, libraries have added photos and put them into collections.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, kind of like you would think if you're familiar with Pinterest, having a Pinterest board. So you could have a collection based on a certain location or a certain theme. Maybe you have a postcard collection of public libraries. You could make a collection based on those postcards. It doesn't have to be from one individual town. It'd be the theme of public libraries or something like that.
So when people use History Pin, are they going in and searching for these and kind of picking which collections they follow? How does that work? Because I know from the origins of it, they were out of the gate with a lot of imagery, so that could get really overwhelming.
Yeah, it really can be overwhelming. So what I suggest on any of these sites or these apps is to start with the location that you're interested in. Don't search for your ancestor's name. Instead, search where your ancestor was living.
Right.
And then you'll see the collections that are tied to that location, and you'll see the individual pins that have been placed. And with History Pin, it isn't just photos, although that is the majority of what they have. But in my talk, I also highlighted a collection of oral histories from Northwest Ohio. And they've actually uploaded the videos of these veterans that they have interviewed for these oral histories. So you see videos along with the photos. It's just really cool what History Pin has done.
Really expanding to different types of media. And the other one was What Was There?
Whatwasthere.com. Again, you can use it on your mobile device, but still think about the location that you want to look for. You can go in. They don't have the collection feature that they have on History Pin, but What Was There is very integrated in with Google Street View.
Oh, we love that.
So if you have a photograph and you know exactly where it was taken, you know that that was at Grandma's house, or you know that that was Grandpa's service station or his grocery store, whatever it is, and you know the address. If Google Street View has captured that address, you can actually do an overlay of that historic photo with Google Street View and do a fade between the modern image and that historic photo.
I
It is so
love
much
that.
fun.
And I know I teach that with using Google Earth, and you can kind of create your own overlays. But I've seen what was there, and it's really neat. And it's kind of a neat introduction to getting involved in this whole idea of geographic overlays. And like you said, it's the closest to time travel I can find so far.
Yeah, it is, and it's so much fun. I mean, it's a really good way, I think, of bringing kids in because there is
Yeah.
that wow factor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that was Grandpa's grocery store, and now it's a McDonald's. You know, I have that in my own family with my dad's service station. It's like, okay, it's sad to see that it's not there, but to see what was there, hence what was there.
Well, fabulous.
.com.
Well, two great websites. Before we wrap, how about an app? You have a favorite app that you talked about in that class?
I had several favorite apps, but I'm going to give you one that might surprise you. You probably already have it on your phone, Instagram.
Okay.
We think about Instagram for posting photos of food and our cats, but instead of thinking about photos that you want to share with others, follow libraries and archives and museums because they post a lot of historic photos from their collections.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you have ancestors in a specific county or a specific town, follow that public library, follow that historical society, that museum, because they're going to be posting historic photos from that area.
And see, isn't that neat? Because a lot of people have shied away from Instagram because they're like, well, the kids are on it. I don't want to get into that. Start with that. That's going to feed your need. It gives you a little bit of a burning need to learn it and get involved in it. But then I think turn it around and start. How about, can we Instagram pictures of our ancestors and try to, my daughter was explaining it as it's just got to be shareable. We're not interested, the young people if it's not shareable. And I think being out there where they are is really critical to foster the interest.
Exactly. And that's what I like about Instagram, because now they have the feature on Instagram where you can send a photo to someone else that you follow on Instagram. So if you are following, say, an archive and there's a really cool photo of the old neighborhood and you're friends with your daughter on Instagram, you could send that photo right to her and she would have that picture.
I love it. Yeah. And all of them free?
All of them free.
Wonderful. Any others that we just can't miss?
There's a website that's fun. They do also have a standalone app called Clio, C-L-I-O. It isn't quite as integrated with the Google Street View. You're not going to be able to do the historic fade, but the resources that they give, they have their descriptions tend to be more robust. They also have additional sources that you can follow up if this is something that really interests you. You've got a whole bibliography that you can follow along with the photos. And you can also, on the Clio app, when you have it on your phone and you've turned your location services on, you can turn on the app and it will tell you the historic sites that are around you.
Fantastic.
So imagine doing that, going on a walk, going and exploring with the kids or the grandkids, and oh yeah, over there used to be such and so.
Right.
Yeah,
bringing the past into the present.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very cool. I knew we needed to get you on the show, and I love talking apps. If you want to learn more about these, of course, down in the description of this, if you're watching the video on YouTube, you'll see down in the description the links to the different apps and programs that she's been talking about. Also, a link to Amy's blog, which is wonderful. And how about my mobile genealogy book? Just put it all together, make the most out of that tablet or that smartphone that you invest in because it can do so much for your family history. Thank you so much for joining me, Amy.
Thanks for having me.